Hello people, happy Sunday. Hope everybody out there is doing well. Had some great temperatures this week, up to about 22 degrees C, which is brilliant by UK standards, but had a period of sickness about a month or so ago, so I didn't really do much gardening and got behind. And then of course my gardening work for other people backed up, so to get a lot of that sorted, so hence my own yard got a little bit neglected, but you know, that's how things go, I guess. So having a look around, and yes, there's plenty to do. And what I intend to do is to use this autumn and the winter to get things sorted out nice and tidy, get things out that shouldn't be in and get new things in, etc, etc. You get the idea. Probably going to put some broad beans in. I want to get the soil enriched, just get it nice and organised. I've got some grapevines that I might set, and I'm just going to have a good thought about things to get in really, and just have a good sort of organise and tidy up. So what I thought I'd do with this video is just show you a little bit of what it looks like at the moment. Don't expect anything to look amazing, because it certainly doesn't, but yeah, so let's have a look-see here. So this is the vegetable garden. Now looking at it, it looks not amazing to be honest, but you know, I haven't done hardly anything on here, but sticking with what I said, and the plan is to make sure that I eat something from the garden every single day, and that's what I've been doing. It's been spinach, Swiss chard, kale, you know, recurring stuff in general. And believe it or not, I don't know if other people are experiencing this, but the runner beans are just coming into fruition. But we'll talk more about this later. This is the vegetable patch here. So you can see down here I've got me marrow and courgette plants. They're long finished now, and you know, the ones on there, they're obviously not going to come to anything now, and there's a little bit of wood ash chucked on there, but these are all going to come out. Probably will compost them, something like that. And you can see at the back there the tomato plants, they're probably going to come out as well. Going to have a good weed, clear all this, strip it down, probably chuck some horse manure on there, some compost. Really want to enrich the soil. I can't put brassicas on there. When I say brassicas, I mean members of the cabbage family, such as broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts. I can't put them on there for a few years because I had them here in the ground here last year and into this year a little bit. You can't put them in, you can't keep putting them in the same ground, because then you end up with a disease called club root. Look that one up, but you really don't want it. The root of the plant will just turn into a big club like that, and it can't grow, and it just stunts the growth, and the crops don't come to anything. So you can see what's happening here. Got a few tomatoes down there, some that are ripening, so going to take them. The green ones I'll probably give them to a friend of mine who likes to make chutney and all that, and he'll give me a jar or two of that. So that's probably what I'll do with them. And so expecting this to be, you know, sorted soon. In fact, I may even target this afternoon, but we will see. Now let's talk about the runner beans. Now you may remember, if you live in the UK anyway, I had a very dry and hot summer, very long by UK standards actually as well. And you know, the runner beans just sat there and didn't do anything. Some died, look, as you can see by this one here. But literally they just sat there and didn't do much. But now they're coming in to, you know, to fruit. Obviously that's or produce. Obviously that's a small one there. But get it into focus. There you go. But I've been eating these raw every single day, more or less, off of the plant, and I've been very happy. And also the climbing French beans, as you can see there, they came into production late, and that's because of again the dry weather. So a little bit of a quirk there. Anyone else finding that? Because of course once the rain came, runner beans like a bit of rain, once the rain came they just went absolutely crazy. But I'm happy for that. Something a little bit different. Swiss chard looking nice and healthy down there. Geraniums that I grew from seed, they're fantastic. I need to deadhead them, as you can see, ones like this. But these have been absolutely brilliant. I love that beautiful earthy smell that you get from geranium plants, but I don't want to lose these to the frost, and they will die because they're not hardy. if a frost hits them. So I'm going to probably overwinter these somewhere. I mean, we went down to about 4 degrees C the other night, which is a bit chilly actually. But these are okay. They're a bit sheltered here, so it's not a problem. But I'm very happy actually with how these turned out. And these ones as well. Marigolds still looking good. These are African marigolds, but they're past their best now, and they're going to be gone soon. So this this little vegetable patch here, yeah, this definitely needs some TLC, should we say. Some of the stuff's gone to seed now, but still, you know, still getting great crops of spinach from here. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but at the same time, that's not what it's about. It's productive, and it really is feeding well at the moment. Now, every day, as I said, getting spinach, and over here, look, getting kale as well. I mean, you know, keep pulling these away, the leaves, and you get these beautiful little tender leaves. Let them get a bit bigger if you want, and you know, it really is nice. The runner beans there, they've gone now, but yeah, I mean, look, still got masses of production there, masses of crops, so I'm very happy. But what's going to happen here, or in the middle here, is still under decision, shall one say. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But so we're right next to the, hear that aeroplane, right next to the polytunnel here, look. Okay, now as you look into the craziness of the polytunnel, this is where a lot of changing is going to go ahead. So let's have a look. So the peach tree, look at that. That's going to be approaching dormancy soon. That's going to be, you know, staying where it is. Peach leaf curl, bloody blah. Spoke a lot about that. Won't go into it today. But this cherry tree is coming out, and that is going into the vegetable patch outside. Okay, so it's going there in the middle. So there, and what I might do, I might even turn this into like a little patch, like a fruit patch, so to speak. It could be quite interesting. I might set some strawberries here. I might put some gooseberries in, but thinking very much about certainly the cherry tree in the middle. It's a minaret. It won't get too big. I mean, I know people have said it will get huge, but it won't, because it's a minaret on a dwarfing rootstock, and it was in the ground somewhere else for about 4 to 5 years before I put it in the polytunnel, and it hardly grew, so it won't get massive. So it's going to go in there, and I just imagine it with a nice, you know, some strawberries maybe here or something like that, maybe some raspberries here, something along those, maybe a little gooseberry bush, you know, just a little bit of a fruit patch. I might even, you know, make a little cage around it just to make it a sort of, you know, a nice little idea. But lots of things to think about, but that's certainly, you know, what this to me lends itself to, but we'll see. So here we are back in the polytunnel. So I mean, look at this Tithonia. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm really, really fond of this, because Mexican sunflower, and of course they're not native to the UK, so they're not sorry, I'm just trying to close this door here. They're not you know, not frost hardy, but I'm just wondering how long, once the frosts come, I can keep it going for in this polytunnel. I mean, it'd be great to overwinter it. I'm not going to you know, take massive steps to protect it, you know, by putting bubble wrap up and things like that this year anyway. I might try and grow another one next year, just see how big I can get one. But yeah, so down here, the orange tree, that's going to be coming out soon. The mango tree in the corner in there, that's going to be coming out soon. I say coming out, they're in pots, and I've got a place that I can overwinter those. A friend of mine's got like a sort of conservatory, so they're going to go in there. They'll get plenty of light in there, won't be too cold, so they should survive. And then next year they can then come back in this polytunnel, and who knows, I might even produce some blood oranges and some mangoes. Unlikely on the mangoes, but probably more likely on the blood oranges, but we shall see what will happen there. Now these geraniums, you may remember I set these a few, I don't know, probably a month or so ago. I mean, look at them there, look, looking pretty good, and they're still germinating. So that's the best one. That was the first one to germinate. Variety Moulin Rouge, lovely red flowers, nice deep red when they produce. So more down here as well, and it's considerably warm. It's quite warm in this polytunnel even today, and it's not particularly warm outside, so obviously that's helping. These won't germinate in the cold, so there we go. These are going to be overwintered as well, so I'm going to have a decent amount of geraniums for next year. Geranium growing is a thing that I'm really getting into, so anyone out there who is an authority on the subject or knows a lot, please let me know. Papaya plants are looking pretty cool. Looking good, ain't it? The other one. Once again, you know, still warmish here, but they'll be overwintered, probably inside on a windowsill, something like that. But there we go, not looking too bad. And what else have we got here? Just in need of a big organise and tidy up, but today, this year was, you know, been a crazy year with work and everything, and you can't do everything, I know this, but I've managed to at least get things going, which is what I wanted. So here we go. Now these spinach plants, I'm going to give these to a friend, and what we're going to do is we're going to dig these up, take these up from here and plant them into her vegetable patch so she can get some nice spinach. You know, they'll go into the vegetable patch, might grow a little bit more on this year, but then they'll come into their own, all being well, next spring. So not bad, you know, and that's where they are destined to go, to my friend's vegetable patch. And here, spoke a lot about this, the grapevine still growing absolutely enormously. Variety Autumn Royal, and that's going to be tied up. What I'm probably going to do is remove this shelving here, and I'm going to proceed to train it over here. So all being well in this polytunnel, the cherry tree variety Stella, Canadian variety, I believe it was the first self-fertile cherry introduced to the UK, because before you had to have ones from different trees from the same flowering period in order for cross-pollination, but that will produce fruit on its own pollen. So there we go. But yeah, so all being well, this grapevine here will be trained and tidied up. That's what I'm going to do. The Stella cherry is going to be moved out there into a fruit patch that I wish to create, because it's something that I really like the idea of. And I'm going to seriously prune and reduce this peach tree, so that's what I want to do in here. So there's loads of work here, and what I'm planning on is when my gardening maintenance work, you know, gets a little bit quieter in the winter, then of course I should have more time to get out here and do things. But either way, you know, we had a lovely crop of peaches. They were beautiful, and in many cases the fruit, many people's fruit didn't do that well this year because it was so dry and hot, but you know, peaches of course love those conditions, so they really were beautiful and sweet. Check out some of my summer videos if you want to see them. Yeah, the cherry didn't fruit this year, but yeah, so that's this anyway. Right here, look, got just one I'll show you, one of my Lakemont seedless grapevines that were taken. Its cuttings, you know, might proceed to put that in the ground somewhere. I'm just thinking sort of very long term about what I wish to achieve. You know, it'd be lovely to have an incredibly productive fruit thing going on here. That's what I want to do. So lovely crops of grapes, lovely crops of, you know, peaches, which I'm getting already, lovely crops of cherries. the apple tree should produce next year. In fact, let's go outside and look at some fruity trees. So, Concord pear, these won't be far off. Still a little bit on the hard side, but these won't be far off of production. Well, they're, excuse me, I'm tired. Won't be far off of ripening. Nicely sort of, call that russeted, I suppose. And this grapevine here, this is Lakemont seedless, but this has really put out some humongous growth this year, and it's likely that it will fruit next year. So this is going to be trained and tidied up. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Ready for good production next year. These are pretty cool. Worcester Pearman apples, but they didn't make much size because the tree's young and it's so, you know, it was so dry, but they're actually sweet. You know, real sweet taste to these apples. I mean, look how tiny they are, but I've left most of them on the tree because, no, let the garden have them, so to speak. So there you go, plenty to do. Now, I knew this was going to happen. You know, a lot of this year was about getting things going, getting stuff in, let it to start establish and get growing away. A little bit crazy, but had a lot of production here. For such a small space, had a lot of food out of it. I mean, the courgettes and marrows were absolutely fantastic, and spoke a lot about the spinach, the cabbage, the kale. You've seen all that. That looks great. Still is great and has produced very heavily. So yeah, you can see what can be done in a relatively small space, but a lot of it's about timing, and what I've done is I've left the jobs that I know can be done when I've got the time to do them. And for instance, moving this tree, now you generally move trees when they're dormant because it's less stressful on the tree. Of course, ideally you wouldn't do it at all, but it's got to be done in this case. So that's where that's going to go. And tying up this grapevine, I'll probably do that when the leaves fall off in dormancy, because then it'll be easier to see it. And I may even take some, I probably will take some cuttings off of this, because this is all this growth that this vine has got. This is literally all growth from this year. So, you know, it's just going to produce massive amounts of crops next year, all being well. So yeah, plenty to do. Things have worked out well. So there's your update. I'm going to be posting regular videos now, all being well, on just progress and getting it round. The fruit section there I'm talking about, I'll get this tree here. I'll probably either build one myself or buy a cage to put round it, whatever. No point having a cherry tree outside really, because without it being covered, because the birds, they'll just decimate your crop, at least in this country anyway. So, and of course if I'm having strawberries there as well, the same will happen. So I'll probably work on that. So I hope you enjoyed that little update. Take care, speak soon. Any questions or comments you've got, post them down below. I promise I will respond to them. If not the day you post them, you know, within like a week or so after, I'll gladly respond. Any questions you got, fire away. Take care, speak soon, and hope you're enjoying late summer, early autumn. And if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Bye.